So some of the items were organized in different areas. As you can see on the screen, we separate in different areas. The first one is church service and meetings. The second is pastors and elders. And I'm very happy to share this with you because as a pastor, evangelist, church planter, leader from this church, I mean, I'm so excited to see some of these items as we present to you. You will see the importance that this will have in the local church, because that's what really ministry happens, right? At the local church, where our brothers and sisters are working, witnessing, and visiting the community and serving the community, invite people to join the church and become followers of Jesus. So you will see on these recommendations that each one of them has the purpose of highlighting the importance and effectiveness of the local church ministry. So let's start with the agenda. You have here listed by numbers starting on 401. And you have the whole list on pages 20 to 22. And you see there are numbers. 401 is the first one, but the actual item has a number of 400. Why is that? Because they are coming, it was very well explained by Elder Muruvan, as the policy reviews are made to the church as we meet an executive committee at the General Conference, the same thing with the Church Manual recommendations. They come from a Church Manual committee. They are presented to the Annual Council at the end of the year, our last executive committee of the General Conference. And if they are voted, then they are brought to this body to be appreciated and accepted or rejected. So the numbers you see on the screen, 400-22GS, these are the numbers that gives us the history, where the action came from. But in your agenda is the item 401. Let's see the first one. The title is Unauthorized Speakers. This is a church manual amendment. In the church manual, and I have mine with me, I don't think you brought yours, but maybe you have an electronic format with you that many people use today. And I have mine is totally, underlined and highlighted, and even I have some little papers here marking the pages that I need to be conscious about. The church manual, pages 120 to 121, and if you want to follow in your agenda, it is on the page 53. So I'll be opening now page 53 on my agenda book. Okay, we are deleting one paragraph and revising the whole paragraph. As you can see on the screen, this is the recommendation from the Church Manual Committee, unauthorized speakers. And the rationale behind this recommendation is that this item will clarify who may be invited to speak in the church and addresses the confusion caused by the implication that a lay person could not preach because they do not hold credentials. Because usually, we use credentials for the denominational worker. And this brought a little bit of confusion, so we are editing the whole paragraph as this. Authorized speakers. Only speakers worthy of confidence will be invited to the pulpit by the local church pastor, in harmony with guidelines given by the conference. The local elders or church board may also invite speakers in consultation with the pastor and in harmony with conference guidelines. Individuals who are no longer members or who are under discipline should not be given access to the pulpit. Madam Chair, I move we accept this recommendation.
All right, that's clear. We have the motion and we have a second. Is there a question or comment on this item? Seeing none, we're going to move right to the question. And we do see one. Someone is walking to microphone number 3, And I do see Christopher Holland from General Conference on number 5. Please, Christopher Holland, number 5.
Madam Chair, I am slightly concerned about this. Pastors are hired with confidence to decide who is speaking from their pulpit. And the phrase authorized by the conference, while I certainly understand the concern that may exist over some speakers, this seems to withdraw confidence, or at the very least, display distrust in the pastor or the local church. Mm-hmm. I would urge this to be reconsidered by the committee.
And are you speaking specifically to the use of the term authorized?
I am.
Okay.
Authorized by the conference.
Authorized by the conference, all right. All right, and we have number 7, microphone number 7, Tim Standish, General Conference.
Thank you, Madam Chair. My concern with this is that while it requires church boards to work with their pastor in terms of who preaches in the church, it does not require the pastor to work with the church board. It makes him only accountable, apparently, to the conference. But there must be some accountability of pastors to the local congregation that they serve. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. That is clear. Back to microphone number 5, Mandla Sebantwini, Lupandwana, Southern Africa Union Conference in the SID. Microphone number 5? Okay.
My question is in the use of the word consultation. Consultation can sometimes be applied in this way. I told him that we are calling someone to come and preach. He may or may not have objected, it's fine, but we consulted him. It does not always require consent. My question to the committee would be, in the phrasing of the paragraph, were we looking for mere consultation, or were we hoping that it would lead to consent? I'm thinking of a situation where there is a disagreement between the local elders or the local church board and the pastor on the person being invited. Consultation would allow the elders or the church board to proceed because they have consulted. But if we were hoping that consultation also includes consent, then when there's a disagreement, that they would not proceed with that particular speaker. And if the idea was to include consent, I would suggest probably relooking the word consultation and finding one that would include the concept of consent. Thank you, Chair.
Excellent, that's good. Before you leave the microphone, please say your very melodic, beautiful name for me.
Mandla Sebantwini.
I was close. Okay, yes. All right, thank you. I like it. All right, and now the last speaker on this item is at microphone number 3, Chalmer Giviso, South Philippine Union Conference in the Southern Asia Pacific Division. And obviously not the last, because we have another who just joined. All right.
Thank you. By the way, I just would like to point out, in the list provided as those who should not be invited, limited only to those who are no longer members and are under discipline. Based on our experience, there was a time when there was a pastor, a retired pastor actually, whose membership is from another conference, and he was already residing in our place. But because of his membership with a pyramiding scheme of which the church spoke adversely, this pastor was already antagonistic to the church, antagonistic to the leadership of the mission and of the union. But just the same, some churches still invite him, especially those who are sympathetic with that pyramiding scheme of which that pastor was a member. I would suggest that I think we should not limit only the disqualifications from speaking in our pulpit to those who are not members or those who are under discipline, but we should include even those who are not loyal to the church. Just a suggestion. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Then we go to the English Zoom, number 101 again. Brother Yusuf Zege, Southeast Tanzania Conference, East Central Africa Division.
Yes, I have the comment on the phrase. The word confidence is not defined well. How a person will define and measure the confidence of a person to stand before the church and preach. That is my concern. If it is well defined, it will provide a well guidance on how we can allow people to stand on the pulpit. Thank you.
You're just calling for some definition, right? Okay, thank you. And microphone number 1, Even Stefanova or Stefanova?
Stefanova, is it? The old wording very clearly makes impossible for individuals who are not members of the church to talk at the pulpit. It says strangers or any unauthorized persons. And I don't find this in the new wording. It says members who are under discipline or no longer members, but it's nothing. There is nothing about people who do not belong to the church. Is this on purpose?
Okay, thank you very much. I believe we have note of this. And we go to microphone number 5, Josiah Flores, Carolina Conference, North American Division.
Thank you, Madam Chair. My comment is just on the rationale and what the now phrasing reads. The rationale is talking about who may be invited to speak in church and addressing this confusion about credentials. However, the new paragraph seems to deal more with who has the authority to select the speakers rather than clarifying who's invited to speak. Because we now see that the wording of invited by the local church pastor, this is line 24, and then line 25, in consultation with the pastor, this wasn't in the original statement, yet it seems to be added separate from what the rationale is really stating. It's just a comment as to what rationale is saying and what we see in the new statement. I'm not sure if there's a discrepancy there that is meant to be there.
Thank you very much. And we move back to microphone number 1, Rita Meyer, Inter-European Division.
Yes, thank you. Just a little invitation. As we are speaking about guidelines by the conference, and as we have some union of churches, could we just include that somewhere also? That was just a little point.
Okay, did you get that one? Please repeat that. We were not hearing it clearly here.
Yes, I was in the text you refer to the guidelines of the conferences, but we have some union of churches, and I think we should add something here to clarify this.
Okay, thank you very much, Brother Meyer. Going to microphone number 8, Armando Miranda Sr., General Conference, number 8.
Thank you, Madam Chair. It seemed to me that it's very difficult to find place for everything that is needed. And it seemed to me that the way how it's written cover many things. For example, it says, in consultation with the pastor and also in harmony with conference guidelines. So that means that the local conference has some work to do in that direction, because there are some concerns with people who are affecting the church, just inviting those who are not appropriately, they are not confident to speak to the church. So it seems to me the way how it's written is appropriate and cover what we need.
Thank you very much, Pastor Miranda. We have two other speakers. These should probably be the last two. On microphone number 4, Musa Nzumbi, Northeast Tanzania Conference, East Central Africa Division.
Okay, thank you, Madam Chair. I have just two concerns. Number one is the explanation about the conference, that in harmony with the guideline given by the conference. Some entities that we have, there are fields which have not been qualified to be conferences. Mm-hmm. So maybe we could add the word field so that it can apply to those entities which are not conference. But also, the issue of which they invited to the pulpit by the local church pastor, in harmony with the guideline given by the conference, the local elders or church board may also invite speakers in consultation with the pastor. Now, maybe here also we could expand the word pastor, maybe to be church pastor or district pastor, so that they cannot just consult with any pastor around, because we can have maybe chaplain around the church who don't hold the managerial power. Maybe we could have some retired pastors within the area, maybe who could not have some decision on the church. Maybe this word also, this title for the second sentence can be expanded so that it can be understood. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you very much. And it looks like someone else is added, so I hope no one else is being scanned. We want to allow for the scanned items to show up on the screen, but at this point there should be no more. And we will go to number 8, microphone number 8, Jeff Scroggins. Let's see, Jeff Scoggins, number 8, General Conference, and then we have one other.
Thank you. I dealt with this particular item often while I was pastoring, and I actually interpret this to be a little bit less restrictive than what we had before. So I actually appreciated the changes that were made, and I would support the way that it stands. It actually seems to give the pastor a little bit more flexibility, of course, in consultation with their local conference, mission, union of churches, whatever it may be.
Thank you very much. And finally, at microphone number 5, Gloria Nutchinzini, Trans-Orange Conference, Southern Africa Indian Ocean Division.
Thank you, Madam
Number
Chair.
5. Okay.
Madam Chair, my issue is the implementation. Because you find a church inviting a person.
My sister, we cannot hear you up here. It's
Okay.
probably no fault of yours, but I noticed the microphone is just a little high for you. Perhaps you can just speak up. It should be okay. Okay. That's good. We don't want to, okay.
Thank you, Chair. my issue is the implementation of that part, because you'll find a church inviting a person, and that person you have been having a long time without seeing him or her. Boom, the person invited to come and preach. You don't even know if he or she has taken his or own membership to somewhere else. So I think this issue is affecting the local church. And then I think if we can get help on that part.
Thank you very much. It seems that the observations are somewhat balanced, and maybe, I don't want to say canceling each other out, but balancing each other. And I'm wondering if you want to go to the question on this one? Call the question, okay. Then we're going to go to our voting ballot, to election buddy. Please open.
All right, Madam Chair, we will be opening this here momentarily, so just the same process as before. Please make sure to hit submit, and it will be opened up here momentarily, Madam Chair.
Okay. And
It's open, Madam Chair. People should be able to vote.
here we go. Okay, get those devices working. You have done so well, exceptionally well with Election Buddy this afternoon. Let's keep our great record going. And I do not see the motion on the screen, so I am not repeating it for you as I have tried to do.
This is,
Yes.
we're voting on, 401 on the main motion.
Yes?
This is the vote on the main motion.
Oh, thank you. And thank you for the music.
Madam Chair, people are voting. We're up to 847.
Okay, very good. Excellent start. And we are voting on the motion to amend the Church Manual, Chapter 10, Services and Other Meetings, pages 120 to 121, unauthorized speakers, as found in the session agenda. Item number 401, remember there was a reference to 400 in its designation, and that is found on pages 53, 54, and 55, it appears. Maybe? Are we moving along?
We're
They're
moving.
mounting up?
Madam Chair, we're moving along quite nicely. We just crossed over 1,200.
Excellent. Remember, we had a request to watch for the numbers in the queue and to allow a little additional time for those who are getting caught in the traffic jam, the electronic traffic jam.
And Madam Chair, we are keeping an eye on that. I will tell you from experience, we will be here until supper if we waited till every single person is not in the queue, because it does tend to refresh itself, but we do try to make sure that that the vast majority of people have been able to, well, everyone has had the ability to vote, that everyone has actually voted.
Okay.
And Madam Chair, I can tell you 1,370 have successfully completed that.
Excellent. It's okay. Okay, a few more minutes. Well, not a few more minutes. I guess several more seconds would be more accurate, right?
All right, Madam Chair, we are at 1,430.
14:30. How many in the queue?
There are still 58 in the queue. 49 in the queue.
Okay,
But again, we really can't wait till that goes down to zero, or
Yes.
we will be here.
because the queue keeps mounting.
Right.
Too. Okay. It looks like we are just about ready to close it.
Very well, Madam Chair. We are at 1459.
So close.
You
But
ready
it's
to
good.
close,
We're
Madam
ready
Chair?
to close. It's good.
All right, Madam Chair, we're closing it, and it'll take it just a couple of seconds for EB to display it on the screen there. 1,473 total ballots.
Excellent. All right. This item requires only a simple majority, whereas the Constitution and bylaws items require 2/3, by the way of which we got well over 2/3 for each item. But with this, we have almost 91% in favor with 1,336 votes yes, and 137 votes no, which is just a little more than 9%. So this carries. Thank you very much.